good morning, and welcome to Bill Riccardi's weekly Patreon update. I, of course, am Bill Riccardi, a creator and purveyor of fantasy novels. Coming up this week, we are talking a little bit about what has happened with the Cadence beta, what's going on with the Blackstaff Siblings, and, of course, some of the news about going broad, and a little bit more news about romance. Let's kick it off. Actually, back to front with the Blackstaff Siblings and the status on that. I did a little bit more work on book 2 of the Blackstaff Siblings. That would be the sequel to A Princess of Last Resort. However, I put it on hold on the second day this week. The reason being, I am now focusing on getting Cadence out the door. So Blackstaff Siblings is on hold. Release for that might still be late September, but very equally could be early October instead. The reason, of course, is that Cadence beta had lasted for basically an extra month without a heck of a lot to show for it, I'm sad to say. So some of the beta readers just had real life tackle them very hard. They couldn't complete everything that they wanted to complete. So I have taken the text and personally gone over it several times with a fine-tooth comb. That's where a lot of my time was spent. Some of it was spent just making the phrasing a little bit more active, a little bit less passive, which is a slight stylistic change from what I normally do. I don't mind using a little bit of passive, but in this book in particular, it was not as appropriate, let's just say. The tone of the book greatly enhances itself if passive tenses are avoided in certain cases. Of course, I haven't abandoned it completely. It's still a tool in the toolbox. Don't fall for the whole showing is everything, telling is nothing, because that's BS. But do understand that the balance does impact the tone. So if you're looking for a different tonal shift, you might shift it one way or the other, which is exactly what I did for this book. So that is now out with the superfans as of yesterday. They should start to read what I consider the final copy, make any sort of final corrections and or feedback, and then we'll figure it out from there. Hopefully for release by the end of the month. So superfans, it's in their court right now. We got 4 or 5 great followers who are going through it. They've already read Rhythm, and now they're going through Cadence with the fine-tooth comb. So what else have I been doing since I'm not working necessarily directly on Cadence, and I am not working on the Blackstaff Siblings? 2 things. Let's cover the first. The first thing that I'm doing is I'm going broad with Another Stupid Demon. Now that's happening on the 20th. You should start seeing the book popping up everywhere as soon as its Amazon term for their special advertising group expires. It expires on the 19th. So on the 20th, Another Stupid Demon should start appearing in the iTunes store. It should start appearing in Kobo and in the Google Play Store and in Barnes & Noble. So it's going to be in all of the big 5, okay? I've made this decision because enrollment in the Kindle Unlimited program has been less than stellar. I'm just not getting that many reads. Either the material is not reaching the right people, which I think is correct, and I'll explain why in a minute, or all the people who would read it have read it. And I'm getting less than 2 full book reads a day on some days, which is not acceptable. But that program has seen a lot of manipulation by certain other authors, what we would call book stuffing and things of that nature. So the per page read has plummeted in value over the course of the last few years. So it's almost not worth it at all. So what am I doing instead, and why do I think it's more effective? Well, I've put my book up on Prolific Works, and I am getting dozens of giveaways per week, per giveaway per week over on Prolific Works. In 1 month, I've given away well over 100 titles. This month, I'm on pace to break that. And the result of that has been more actual sales. People read the first book, they're like, wow, this is great, and they go and they actually buy the rest of them, which is wondrous, right? That is the first tool that I'm using, and the second tool that I'm using is actual advertisements in the books themselves. So that's not in the middle of the story or anything. That is at the very end, when you go and you see, oh, the book's over. And it's like, well, if you like that, check these out. It's like, oh, nice, bibliography type stuff. So that has been working out much better than just having on Kindle Unlimited. So the more I can expose people to that by going broad and now hitting whole new audiences, whole non-Amazon audiences, another 30% of the market, give or take, the more likely I am to see a rolling success there. So that's what's happening. So on the flip side of that is, what are you doing for money, Bill, if you're giving everything away? Well, of course it does increase sales across the board, but I have queried a romance novel with one of the big independent romance, probably the biggest independent romance publisher. Didn't go agented this time. Went directly to the publisher. I have had no luck with agents, of course. I have submitted many a manuscript, 5 different manuscripts, and I've given up all hope, really, of ever getting an agent. At least ever getting an agent who will do for me what I'm currently doing for myself, and free up enough time that I am allowed to write more. If there's an agent out there like that who has a proven track record, feel free to give me a buzz. I'll gladly offer you your 10 to 15% if it means I can write another novel every year, right? If you'd save me that much time. But yeah, I've gone directly to this romance publisher, and they responded within 24 hours, and I was shocked, right? I was like, I've never gotten a response ever off of anything I've done, even the popular, well-rated stuff. And the poor guy was actually on vacation, and he still sent me a mail and said, listen, send me the full manuscript, send me the full synopsis. I need everything. Give me your bio, give me everything. I'm going to get deep into this, and we'll figure it out. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So that's going on as we speak, and we will see if this major independent romance publisher has some designs for me. If so, that might mean some money for me, and we'll see what happens from there. Finally, the last thing to say is that Wattpad activity is going to be dropping if indeed there is an interest in my romance series, because I'll be using that spare writing time, not writing on Wattpad, but actually writing more romance stuff, which I might use live stream previews. I might use various methods and methodologies to get early feedback. We'll see how that goes, but that is currently the plan, and I think that's about it. The week has been very varied, as it were. Did a lot of different things this week, and the big news about Another Stupid Demon going broad on the 20th. I've done all the groundwork for that. I'm just going to dot my I's and cross my T's this weekend to make sure that the launch is synced throughout all the stores, and that all the stores that can have paperback editions, print-on-demand editions, do have print-on-demand editions. And I'm just going to make sure. I'm going to double, triple check everything. I'll be once it's up for preview on the stores, I'll be downloading all the copies and making sure everything's cool. But that's it. I hope everyone enjoys themselves, has a great weekend and a safe weekend. It's rainy here in Belfast. We're going to try to stay indoors if at all possible, but Loki will inevitably drag me outside anyway. Have a good one, and we'll see you next week.